Today, for the Island's Homes, Interiors and Living magazine podcast, we join textile artist and online content creator Joanne Mooney at her home in Dublin.
Hiya.
Thanks for having us, Joanne.
Thanks for coming.
So Joanne's Instagram account so far has amassed 129,000 followers online. You talk to us online about your home, creative projects you're working on, and your unique and really colourful, fun sense of style, Joanne.
Yeah.
So I'm here today to find out your tips for your home styling, and hopefully you can inspire some of our readers in the process.
Absolutely, absolutely.
First up, Joanne, can you tell us a little bit about your home here in Dublin?
Okay, so I live in, it's a 20-year-old house, so it's quite a new build. Like, it's not an old house, although sometimes when people see my home, they think it is older because I do like that kind of granny chic. But it's a 4-bedroom house, but we extended the attic, so it's a 5-bed, semi-detached in North County Dublin. And it's full of colour and personality, and I'm always changing it, and I love my home.
And the condition of the house when you first got it?
It was a new build.
It was brand new
it's a
at
new
that
build.
point.
So we bought it off the plans, and it was actually a cancellation because I lived in this area, but I lived in a smaller house in Swords, and I saw this being built. This was an old farm, and I used to drive past it, and all the houses were taken. So I drove in, and I was chatting to the estate agents, and I asked them to put me on a cancellation list, and I hounded them, rang them, kept ringing, because I just loved the area.
Yeah.
I loved the plans of the house. It's quite a nice size house. Like, the bedrooms are all, you know, there's a lot of houses you have like a box room, and all the bedrooms are a really good size. So I just hounded them.
That kind of good bones thing that people talk about, you know, the proportions were right.
Exactly. So it paid off. I kept ringing, and eventually somebody pulled out, and I got this one. So it was meant to be.
You told me about always changing it, always updating things. How has the house slowly evolved over that time, and the changes that you've made?
I know.
You probably can't remember them all, Joanne, I asked the question.
Well, when we moved in, and this was a lot with new houses, they paint everything magnolia, you know, just so until you kind of decide what to do. So I was literally moving into a blank canvas. But when I was we're talking, like I was pregnant with my second daughter, and I had a 1-year-old when we moved in here. So I don't have as much time on my hands then that I do now. But I was a little bit scared initially. But once I kind of really got into decorating the house and stuff, it was just something unleashed in me, you know. Even when I was younger in my bedroom, though, I was always dragging the dressing table over and painting walls, and so it's always, and it comes from my mum.
I think so many people can probably relate to that when you say it.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know.
It's so hard to imagine, Joanne, when you're here today, this being a new build house. You know, there's just so much personality.
Yeah. It's really important, though, for me that, you know, I always say this, it's like a broken record, but I do really think that your home should reflect who lives in the home, you know. And a lot of times I could walk into a house, and look, everyone has their own style, but I don't get that person in the house.
And what inspires you really whenever you're thinking about how to build your home? Like, how, I guess, would you describe your personal style?
I'm hugely inspired by hotels, and you know, if I go away, or even like cafes, coffee shops, and my eyes are always on stocks. Like, I'm always looking at the interiors everywhere I go. But hotels are a huge one. I remember I stayed in the Hoxton Hotel in London, and I was just like, I can't wait to go to the toilets to see the decor.
It's that next level up, isn't it? To kind of like, that maybe people won't be brave enough to use in their own homes.
Yeah, and I take photos, and I'm like, that's a really good idea. Like, up in my bathroom, I have tiles. They're kind of interlocked where they have different colours, but I saw that in the Hoxton Hotel. I was like, that's a really good idea for my bathroom.
I guess being really creative, you know, whenever you see a different colour or texture or material.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, colours that you've used in your home, and for anybody out there who wants to introduce more colour into their home, what are your tips for using it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are afraid of colour, like, as in, you know, I actually go all in. I jump in 2 feet. I'm like, I want, like, in the front room, I'm painting that in a couple of months, and I'm going to colour drench the room, ceiling, walls, floors, everything, just that one colour.
Do you know what colour?
I think it's burgundy, like.
Nice.
I'm thinking coming into the winter, like, you want a room that you just kind of like cocoons you know. But I think for people like that, like, I'm very confident in my own style, so I don't do this little testers You know, like I walk into my friend's house and she's got like 10 green shades. I'm like, what are you doing? I haven't made up my mind. 6 months later, I don't know. I'm like, just paint the bloody thing. Like, just paint it. It's paint. If you don't like it, you can see all these decisions and pottering around. I just buy the 5 litre, I go home and I lash it on the wall, and I know I'm going to love it, because I think half the battle is being confident in your own decisions and not listening to anyone else. I think for people, if they want to introduce colour to their home and they're kind of a little bit cautious like that, you could like accessorise. You could get really nice curtains, bold colour, and then like cushions and your furniture, and you can keep your walls neutral, so then you're not really committed to, you know, a yellow wall that you're going to hate in a few years' time. And I think colour really does, like, we live in such a great country, and it really lifts us, you know, and it's so important, you know, that you have like a little pops of colour around your house. Even a hand towel in your ensuite or your bathroom that's yellow, I mean, that would just kind of lift you along, you know, so...
Can we talk a little bit about your kitchen, Joanne? Before we came on the podcast today, when we first had our chat, I was talking about your lovely yellow kitchen that we've all seen on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you, I love it.
Can you tell me about the colours that you've used in there and how you came to using them, really?
Okay, so I'm upset. It's actually coming up to its 1 year birthday. I think it was around this time last year we started the kitchen.
Yeah, wow.
So when I was shopping for kitchens, a lot of the showrooms, they have like which I really love, the greens, the forest green, the blue. All the showrooms were very, and I was like, I want a yellow kitchen, and they're kind of going, really? And a lot of them wouldn't accommodate me, as in they just had these colour swatches. These are the colours that we have. So I had a bit of trouble trying to find a kitchen place that would actually give me a yellow kitchen, and I found a local kitchen, and it's kind of like a butter yellow. It's not like canary yellow, and it's a north facing house, so in the evening all the sun is in the front of my house because it's quite dark at the back, so it was really important that I have sunshine all year round in the back of the house in the kitchen. So I went for the hay farrow and ball it is. I actually was afraid, like after a year, you know, the way I kind of like to change things, but to me it's a timeless colour. I love just walking into it. It just makes me smile, and no, I really love the
And
decision.
you've used some like beautiful reeded glass in there as well, haven't you, on the cabinets?
I saw that in a pub actually in Hen's Teeth in town, and it's like a 70s vibe, isn't it? But also I think it's very timeless. I think that would not date over the years, and I love how you can kind of see it's obscure, but you can see all my colourful plates in there, you know.
I was going to ask you about that. You know, your plate wall in there, it's stunning. I think everybody's seen it, whether it be on Instagram or TikTok. Can you tell us a little bit about how you went about?
Yeah, I think some plates are too nice to put in a press, you know, and they're not always going to be really expensive plates. Some of the plates are plastic I got in pennies that if I like a design or a colour and I think it's going to go nicely in my kitchen, I'm like, that's going up on the wall. So I started doing plate walls. Actually in this room I had a massive plate wall.
Do you change them? Do you update
them? Sometimes I update them, and I just use those plate discs. If I had €1 for anyone asking me, how do you hang up your plates? It's plate discs. You buy them on Amazon and you just kind of wet them and they glue onto the back of the plate. But I do change them up. I have Christmas plates. At Christmas time I'll put Christmas ones, I have Halloween ones, I've got like Easter ones. So it's kind of like that wall is kind of, it does interchange a lot. But as I said, some plates are just too nice.
What makes your home really unique is all of the handcrafted pieces that are around here. We talked about you being a textile artist, you do punch needling. Can you tell us what that is and talk to us about some of the pieces that you've created for your home? Yeah,
so I did a workshop about 6 years ago. A friend of mine, Joanne Condon, she hosted a workshop, and I had never been to a workshop, and I went along to it, and I just was so obsessed with it, and I loved the whole vibe in it. You know, it was just like loads of women sitting down, we were just chatting, and it's just a few hours of kind of mindfulness, and I always say that about my craft, especially punch needle. It was a really therapeutic craft because you're actually punching something. So I always say, like, you're getting out all that frustration.
I think we all need to try that, Joanne.
Yeah, and you get really quick results with punch needle. So it's immediate. Like you could start a picture at 11 and you could actually nearly finish it by lunchtime, and you have a piece of art. But punch needle, for me, I describe it as like drawing a picture, but you're colouring in with wool, and you have different textures. You have like really fluffy and flat stitches. It's very easy craft to learn, and lots of people say to me, oh God, I'm not creative, I can't even thread a needle, and they walk out with textile art. It's so easy to do.
It's probably a really difficult answer to this question,
Really?
but is there a favourite one that you have around the house?
The cherries one is probably, I have one in the hall. It's just a picture of cherries that I did, and that's the one that I do in the workshop, like a mini version of it. It's in my hall, and everyone always comments on that one. But I have done a lot of pictures that I've sold on, which I really loved. I did Dolly Parton. I started doing portraits of people. I did Iris Apfel. They're really big pieces, and I did Frida Kahlo. And I punched my husband's face. I punched my mom's face. That's what you call it. You're punching, like, you know, it sounds terrible. But I just love the colours of it and the texture of it. And I don't have to put a glass over it, you know, if you're framing anything, and the glass is quite the most expensive part of framing. So they're not as expensive to have them framed.
Did you say glass? So often it really flattens colour, I think, too. So it's lovely with your wall hangings. They're so vibrant.
Yeah, they're just popping out at you, like,
Since you began your Instagram page, and it has grown probably beyond any expectation that you had as you began, how has that journey kind of evolved over the past few years? And can you talk to us a little bit about the community that has created for you?
Yeah, it's mad. I actually setting up my page, I never would have thought. I know, I wasn't setting up my page to have loads of people following me. I was like, people need to see this. People need to see these tiles, that you can paint your tiles. People need to see, you can just, you know, it's just to inspire other people to have a go. And I have made so many mistakes, don't get me wrong. I have really messed up on loads of stuff, and it doesn't always go smoothly. And I show those bits, which kind of, I think people can relate to a bit more, because I don't want to be like, everything is perfect in this house. Like, I mean, if you open a wardrobe upstairs, loads of stuff's going to fall out on top of you. Because I knew you were coming here and I was cleaning. But I try, and I know a lot of people are talking about being authentic. Like, it's really hard to have a job every day that you get to be creative. And I feel so lucky that I get to be creative in everything I do, you know. And it's like, and it's so different. There's so many different aspects to the job I do, because I'm also really into fashion. I'm into interiors. I'm into punch needle. I love inspiring other people to be creative, and then I work with brands. So when anyone asks me my job, like I was in the hairdressers the other day, and this guy's like, what do you do? I'm like, oh God, I just say
where do I begin?
I just kind of say, I work with brands. I just do a bit of advertising and stuff like that. So it's a really interesting job, and I love that I've kind of built that career for myself. Because if you had said it to me like in my 20s that this is going to be my job, I'd be like, oh my God, that is my dream job. And I can't even put it into words what kind of job I have. But as I keep saying, like, it's once I'm creative and I have that outlet and I'm doing that, then that's all I want to do, you know. So, yeah, no, I love it. I'm really lucky to have this job.
And so lastly, being here in your home today, again, thank you for having us here.
Thank you for coming.
What does home ultimately mean to you, Joanne?
For me, it's definitely when I go away on holidays and when I come home. I think I said this before. I always say it's just a feeling that you have when you go into your home. Like, oh yeah, I'm home, you know, or you're like, you know yourself when you come home from holidays, oh, I just want my own bed, my own comfortable surroundings. It's definitely a feeling more than anything else. That's really important to me, and I think I have achieved that in this home, that when you walk in you kind of get that vibe off it.
It's just so full of personality and colour, and it feels really happy, and meeting you today, it's so unique to you. It's lovely.
Thank you.